From Lalate headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons Lalate.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA with huge news today as the retail sales numbers are released, and they went down. We have the latest details across the board as the third of three inflationary numbers this week was released. CPI beat, PPI beat, but retail sales missed. Why is that? All the analysis in today's recording. You've heard the breaking news on that LA shorts overnight. Plus, we'll be going into the corporate earnings reported minutes ago. We have some airlines and we have some banks, most of them beating. This is interesting. Some of them reporting record profits. Why is it? I'll have the latest details across the board. The stock market falling apart again, down 300 points after it rallied 900 points after yesterday. And this, my friends, is why you need to get a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. In today's recording, we go over monster checks, nearly $300,000, FSCs, 300 of them, state of the big second half. We'll go over all those incredible checks and the countdown to the biggest of those checks, the student loan debt forgiveness. Then we turn over to inflation relief stimulus checks. Great checks from your states. And where are they? How do they work? And everything you need to know, it's coming up also in the big second half. Then, you know what happened earlier this week? Lifetime stimulus checks. LSCs. We'll be recapping the latest details on that, plus why you're going to be keeping more of that check this year and why you're going to be getting another raise over the next 2 years thereafter. That's coming up also in the big second half. But we have a lot of major breaking news that happened today, and a lot of them may be confusing to some. I'll analyze and explain it to you what happened. JP Morgan Chase's Jamie Dimon says that some people may be left on the wrong side of the equation by betting against certain situations. We talked about that yesterday. The stock market really had a massive rally, and late in the day I said, don't buy into that rally because we're going to go down the next day. Today we're down 300 points on the reversal. We'll have the latest detail on what you need to know about this economy, the recession, the inflation, and we'll also be touching over to the bond market, a new report about how much investments are coming in and out of the markets, how it impacts you, plus a major company is laying off a huge part of its workforce. The breaking news all today from the shores of Santa Monica, California, starts right now. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and it has been a great day. This was day 2 of our foray, our entrance into YouTube Shorts, and you're loving them. Shorts, not lobster shorts, although we did have one on that as well. YouTube Shorts are a great way for me to deliver a quick breaking news report to you, and I delivered it before the sunrise came up on the West Coast. Shortly before sunrise, the retail sales numbers was released this Friday morning. A very important number. That video's been really well watched, so if you like that, continue to see that coming to this channel. A quick YouTube short that gives you the breaking news as it happens, and sometimes it takes less than 15 seconds to deliver it to you. That breaking news was that the retail sales number for the month of September was a miss. Wow. So they're expecting this number to rise compared to the prior month of August, like that CPI had risen in this week, and the PPI had also risen for inflation, but the retail sales was unchanged. It didn't go down, but it was unchanged. However, when you remove certain elements like cars and also fuel and energy, it did rise compared to month. Retail sales is one of those confusing numbers because let's use this highlighter, for example. It doesn't mean you're buying 2 highlighters. It just means that one highlighter you're buying may be more expensive than the prior month. So let's say this highlighter is $1 last month, and the prior month it was 90 cents. Then it would reflect that the retail sales number went up month to month by 10 cents. Doesn't mean you bought 2 highlighters. Just means that one highlighter was more expensive. That was the data that came into this morning. Any reaction to that news? Not really. The markets are reacting to the news we've had so far. That was that CPI and that PPI. If you missed it, here's what happened. The Producer Price Index was released on Wednesday, and it was a beat higher for the wholesaler, the supermarket, to get those products in the month of September compared to the month of August. Inflation went higher for them in that producer price index released on Wednesday. On Thursday, the number you and I have been waiting for a very long time. The consumer price index was released along with the CPI-W and the COLA higher, and this was great news because of your benefits. You're getting the largest lift of your benefits of a generation. Actually, 2 generations. The announcement on Thursday was that you're getting the largest lift of your benefits check in nearly 40 years. Congratulations. This is you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, NRB, and more, even multiple beneficiaries. This is absolutely incredible. How much? 8.7% more. Huge. How can you run this calculation in your head? If you look at your annual year, basically look at this as an extra check per year because there's 12 months in a year, and this is almost 9%. It's just about almost an extra check. So, for example, let's say you get $1,000 a month in benefits checks. This would be like an extra $900 a year. Absolutely incredible. Over 5 years, $5,000. Huge. And guess what? 2 other lifts thereafter. You're getting 2 other lifts thereafter, plus you're not having that money taken out for Medicare Plan B like it used to. You're keeping most of the check. I'll have more about these LSEs, lifetime stimulus checks, later in this recording. Plus those inflation stimulus checks and those federal stimulus checks, FSCs, coming up in a second. Stay to the big second half. There was a lot of breaking news today, though, with banks reporting corporate earnings and also guidance that I think was really important. This is not guidance from the analysts. This is guidance from the heads of banks. JP Morgan Chase's CEO, Jamie Dimon, featured extensively on this channel, said today, "My experience in life is that when you've had things like what's going on through today, there are going to be other surprises." Do I agree? Absolutely. Absolutely. He says, "My experience is that I would be surprised to see how much leverage there was in some of those pension plans." What he's referring to. UK, England is having big problems with having to support the pensions over there. And we don't know how much leverage there is in the investments of those pension plans. Someone is going to be off sides, says Jamie Dimon. We don't see anything that looks systematic. I mean, we don't see anything that's happening across all industries. But there is leverage in certain credit portfolios, and there's leverage in certain companies, so you're probably going to see some of that. What does he say? You're going to get hit by some surprises. Certainly will be featured in a YouTube short by this channel of a company that says we had too much debt and we got caught off guard by Jay Powell raising interest rates, and we're in big financial problems overnight. You're going to see those type of stories hit over the next few months, and that's what Jamie Dimon's basically saying. But he says, I don't see it systematic across all industries, across all portfolios, so I don't know really where it is, but I do see it happening. I love this analysis. What about the banking industry? This is very important for you. Should you be worried about an implosion of the banking industry? Remember the savings loan crisis of many decades ago? No, not going to happen again, says Jamie Dimon. He says the U.S. banking system right now is, quote, extraordinarily strong. And this is because of reforms that were put in place after that savings loan crisis of the 2008 year. Markets will continue to be volatile, he says, because of what Jay Powell and company is going to be doing. So good news for you is your money is going to be in that banks. The banks are generally not going to go under, but you are going to see companies, not banks, that are going to have big problems and big surprises across the board. Let's jump into some of those breaking news reports. Also today, Albertsons is being bought by Kroger, at least they're attempting to. The stock is down 7%. That's Albertsons down. It's a deal valued at $24.6 billion, but it may not pass regulations and approval. We'll see what happens. JP Morgan Chase beat on its quarterly report. That's Jamie Dimon. They said their net income surged 34%. Wow. Congratulations, JP Morgan Chase. Their income surged 34% in the last quarter. The stock was up 3%. It gained 3% after topping estimates. The stock is up 3%. Morgan Stanley, on the other side, slumped 5% in weaker than reported earnings. So they miss compared to what markets analysts were looking for. Citigroup rose 1% as it beat Wells Fargo, 3% as it beat. And then let's jump over to the airlines. You know this one. Do you think the airlines had a great record third quarter earnings? Jump in the live chat right now. Do you think the airlines are doing really well financially? Jump in the live chat and I'll give you that answer in just 1 second. Beyond Meat, not a good situation if you're employed there. They're cutting 19% of their workforce right today. So they're trimming the fat. I couldn't leave that out. They're trimming the fat. They're going. They're getting a lean and tender. Okay, so what are the airlines doing? They're doing record numbers. You got it right. So Delta is up 3% after it continues to post really good numbers. Let's jump over to Tesla. Bad story on Tesla. Tesla was a $1,000 stock just a few months ago. Then it did a 3-for-1 split. So 1,000 divided by 3 is $300. What's happening today? Wells Fargo is trimming its its projections on Tesla, saying it's going to drop to $230. Oh boy, not good across the board. Meantime, there is a lot of fascinating details about whether there will be more rallies or whether there won't be. That's coming up in a second. But this, my friends, is really why you have to get that fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. Massive stimulus. And let's go over those incredible stimuluses right now. First, lifetime stimulus checks. The raise of your benefits, because once your benefits go down, they never go. Once they go up, they never go down. Then inflation relief stimulus checks. Huge from your states. But first, the biggest of them all. FSCs. Federal stimulus checks. Let's jump into those right now. These incredible federal stimulus checks are from the federal government, which is Congress, the Senate, the House, and the President. These became law in the month of March. Views are beginning since the month of March. And it's $300,000, approximately 300 checks. We're going to go over all those incredible checks right now. First, let's understand where they came from and understand how they play out. Remember, these are checks for you. A single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. And if you're on benefits, go get it as well. Let's jump into those incredible checks right now. These checks start with check A, B, and C. Wow. A, B, and C, passed by the President of the United States in the month of March. Huge executive action. And those checks A, B, and C amount to so much, nearly $300,000, nearly $100,000. But we got other checks thereafter. Then came Congress, who passed checks E through K. And those brought us to even more checks, hundreds of checks, then $300,000. Then I found you other checks. L and M, N and O, P and Q, all in the membership newsletter. How do you get these credible checks? You become a member. Go right in this video and become a member to Lalate. Join this channel. Then get that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. Go down that newsletter, apply for each of those incredible checks, which we're going to go over one at a time in just a second. But what are you watching? You're watching Lalate, America's #3 most watched financial news channel in America. 3 broadcasting channels now, LA1, LA2, and LA3. A live stream that airs 24/7, shorts now as well. And also the biggest channel for getting people money for 2 years. $15 million I've gotten people across the board. You ready for some checks? Let's get some checks right now. Let's go over the first 3 checks of those FSCs starting right now. Check A, check B, and check C. Check A is a wonderful $6,500 to $12,000 fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. How do you get it? You go under this video, become a member. Join the channel. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino, VIP. Welcome to all the new members. There's nearly 100 new members joining every 40 hours on this channel. Go down in the membership newsletter delivered from me to you Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, till you see check A. And click the link and go right in and apply. I actually do all the legwork for you. All you have to do is just click and apply. Congratulations, Spelly, who got this incredible check A. You're not done there yet. You're going to go get check B. Check B is $15,000 to $80,000. Wow. This is an incredible check that Frank Mancuso got. Now, Frank Mancuso is an example of what happens on this channel. Join this channel, and to become a member, he just spent a few dollars. And just becoming a member, spending a few dollars, what did he get in less than 30 days of spending a few dollars? This. 18 months of mortgage, 18 months of utilities, 18 months of high-speed internet. That is thousands, almost tens of thousands of dollars of money. Look at all those thousands of dollars he got for just join in as a member for a few dollars in this channel. He's not the only person who's gotten Chuck B. We've had a lot of success stories for Chuck B. Another viewer out of Florida getting nearly $100,000 of 80 checks for Chuck B. You go down the video, become a member, get that newsletter where it says Chuck B, click the link and go right and apply. So simple. You're not done there yet. You're going to go get Check C for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. What do? You go under the video, join the channel, become a member, and then go to that membership newsletter and go get those checks. 12 places to get Check C. It tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. Now, promise me this, two things. One, promise me you'll say the second half of this video, because we have massive checks in the second half. But also, promise me when you do Check C, you go down the membership newsletter and you make the call for all 12 places. Yes, you got 12 places to reach out for Check C. Don't reach out to one, call quits. You reach out to all 12 because you'll have a rejection. You'll also have an approval. Let's go over the details. Check B on average viewers are now getting 18 months of checks, 5 checks a month. Their utilities plus their mortgage or their rent. But Check C is even the same thing. The only difference, they got 12 places to get potentially 80 checks. That's huge. And that's what we've been doing on this channel for a long time. And that's why this channel wins, and that's why you win as well. Let's look at some of the success stories that viewers have gotten from Check C over the last 2 years of this channel. This channel launched on March 20, 2020. And it's now one of the most successful YouTube channels launched in the last 2 years, approaching nearly 200 million views in 2 years. Yes, can you imagine? Look at these incredible numbers for rent. Do you want $30,000 for rent? Well, get some Check C. Go right in this video and join this channel because get some incredible Check C. And we've had 2 viewers that got 14 months of rent in just a few days. Lynn Glenn getting 12 months of utilities. Congratulations, Lynn. And here's Mark, his brother-in-law, getting $15,000 of rent. Same brother-in-law getting $250,000 over 10 years for SNAP. Combinations of checks. Niece who's at $23,000, she went to $50,000. Mark was at $32,000, he went to $166,000. First he went to $50,000, then he went to $100,000, then he went to $166,000. And Lorraine, she was at $105,000, she went to $155,000. That's a true testament of the Purple Power spirit. You go on in this video, become a member, and get all those incredible checks. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to also subscribe to LA2 and LA3. In the big second half, we're going to continue over these FSC checks. We got more to go over, these incredible 300 of these FSC checks. But let's continue with the other breaking news happening right today. The other breaking news is you got it right again. You're doing such a great job. Yesterday, you and I talked about how that rally of the stock market up nearly 1,000 points on Thursday was basically blind leading the blind. I mean, there's no other way to say it. There was no reason for the market to rally up yesterday. There was no good news yesterday. The news yesterday was the CPI was higher than expected. Not higher than you and I expected, but higher than they expected. Inflation was higher compared to the prior month, so there's no good news. So why do they trade up stocks? They're trying to find themselves some, profits by the end of the year. You and I all discussed yesterday that the stock market was going to crash the next day, or at least go right back down. It did today. It went down 300 of that 900 points up. And the reaction is exactly what you expect. Mark Hackett, chief investment strategist, researcher at Nationwide, says, yesterday's action was driven by a disappointing report on CPI, and with initial decline of more than 3% quickly reversed to finish the second gain with nearly up 3%. So she said the numbers were bad, which they were for CPI, and the stocks went down 3%, and then they went up 3%. Here's the quote continuing from Hackett. The week provided additional evidence that equity markets may be heading for a relief rally. Why? This is interesting. Let's jump more into his analysis. Markets are attempting a rally several times in recent weeks of no success, though the impressive reversal on Thursday is an indication that a relief rally may be near given the excessive degree of pessimism priced in the markets. Okay, so this is really difficult analysis. Let's see if you and I can do this. First, you and I have to first agree whether we think the markets have embedded the risk into the markets of more interest rate spikes from the Federal Reserve, Jay Powell. I don't think they have. Have they assessed the risk, or have they not assessed the risk? Have they considered the risk, or have they not considered the risk? Jump in the live chat. I want to hear your reaction right now. My answer is they have not assessed the risk. They have not considered more rate hikes from Jay Powell, even though he tells us he's doing them. They've not assessed that risk. I don't think they have. I want to see if you agree in the live chat. So if that's the case, do I believe there'll be more attempts for a rally? I do believe there's going to be more attempts for a rally. Do you think there's going to be more attempts by the markets, the equity markets, the stocks to rally up and try to see if they can get it going? I think it is, and I think it's really the offshoot of a whole new generation of very unskilled, uninformed people that always want to use the expression buy the dip. When you're going down 50% in a recession, there is no dip until you're done with the recession at 50% down. We're not down 50%, but they're trying to tell you buy when we're down 20%. No, because you got another 30% to go down. That is why I think those are the type of people who are trying to get you to buy in. Here is Goldman Sachs's analysis. Institutional investors, which are banks, which are savings and which are corporations, are extremely conservative right now. This is along with fund manager cash at the highest level since 2021, drove a sharp recovery. I believe there's potential for an upside to expectations. Do I agree? No, I don't agree. I love the data from him. He's saying more institutions are keeping cash in the bank than ever before. The highest cash reserve levels mean they're out of stocks, they're out of bonds, they're in cash than we've ever seen in 2001. I mean, this is in 20 years. And he says they're extremely conservative. I agree. And he says this is a potential for why there's more upside. No, this is an example of why there's not going to be more rallies up. I think there will be more attempts to rally, but I think you and I are not going to be let in there. It's sort of like being hypnotized by bad lobster shorts. Are you going to be hypnotized by bad lobster shorts? Of course you're not. You're not going to be hypnotized by the stock market up 900 points on Thursday, because I will tell you it's going to go down 300 points on Friday. Well, it did. So there you go. How about those treasury bonds? Okay, let's do some little quiz and tell right now. If stocks go up, do bonds go down? Yes. If stocks go down, do bonds go up? Yes, there you go, the opposite direction. So the 10-year Treasury note is up today. It's up above 4% because stocks are down 3%. This is what you expect in the situation. Here's a fascinating quote, and you know exactly what they're going to do with this quote. Kansas City Federal Reserve President Esther George says she's a little worried about all these interest rate spikes. You know exactly what they're going to do. Esther George says we should do interest rate spikes so there won't be any. No, she just said she's concerned about them. There you go. It's sort of like Mitch saying, I'm concerned that people don't like my lobster shorts, but he still wears them. So there you go. In the big second half, we continue with the latest details on what's going on with these markets. Plus, of course, you know what comes up in the big second half? Continuation of stimulus. We'll go over the continuation of the massive FSC checks in this big second half. Plus, we'll jump over to those inflation-related stimulus checks and the lifetime stimulus we learned this week. But is there a twist? I'll tell you the great twist of that as well. We're just getting started on a deliciousness of an afternoon show. We're just getting started with the weekend, and we'll have great new shows this weekend as well. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, I'll see you back in 60 seconds as Afternoons Lalate continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Daily for the excitement of the new LA Live Daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LA at 9 a.m. Home LA returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then Afternoons LA at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA Late.
And the excitement continues on a big Afternoons LA from the shores of Santa Monica, California. I hope you're good. In this big second half, we continue with those incredible FSC, federal stimulus checks. So the first half, we went over check A, B, and C that yield $100,000. But in the second half, we continue with E through K. Monster checks. Where did the E through K come from? They came from Congress. Congress came along and passed a incredible bill that established nearly hundreds of more checks. And the Purple Power, the membership of this channel, which you are now part of, have gotten those incredible checks. If you haven't, we'll go over those incredible E through K checks starting right now as we go into the big second half. And remember this, stay with me all weekend long because I'll be on camera with you with great new shows. And yes, I'll try some more shorts for you as well. Programming shorts. I think there's going to be a running gag. Let's jump into those incredible checks. Check E, $7,500. An incredible, beautiful check. $7,500 is check E of those FSC checks. Check F, $4,000. Check G, 30% off. Check H, $2,000. Check I, $8,000. Check J, $8,000. Check K, $14,000. That's incredible. Let's get some more FSC checks. They continue with the following FSC checks. L, a wonderful $100,000 of loan interest-free money, just huge. And then we go to the incredible M, $4,000 of free grants, just incredible. Then we go to one of my favorite stimuluses, which is N, free internet, and also brand new laptop, brand new computer, brand new tablet. Most tablets are less than $100, so this is beautiful. And that is Stimulus N, all in the membership newsletter. Then we go to Stimulus O, which is zero down payment, zero closing costs, and no insurance required and no credit check required. This is for a brand new home. Then we come over to Stimulus Q and P. P is 3% down for a refi of existing home, and Q is $8,000 of grant money for you across the board. There you go. I mean, look how wonderful that is. That, my friends, is the incredible stimuluses E through Q. And of course, before the commercial break, we started with the first half of the FSC's A. So there you go, A through Q. What do we know about these incredible checks? Number one, largest check, $100,000. $100,000. Smallest check, $8,000. Fastest routing time, about 2 days. Johnny started on Monday. By Wednesday, he had $45,000. By Friday, he had $80,000. We also know there's something for virtually all different things we need around the home. We got home repairs. We got utilities. All the different utilities. We got the rent, the mortgage. We got the car. We got the computer, the tablet, the internet. We got almost everything you would want in these incredible FSCs. Now, remember, FSC means it comes from the federal government. So the federal government administers it, runs the application. They also send out the money. It has nothing to do with your states. Now, one of those FSCs we're watching for, and we talked about a little bit yesterday, is the student loan debt forgiveness. Yes, the president has already determined, and it's already law, the forgiveness of student loan debts, federal student loan debts. But the website for it is not yet live for it. It will be at the Department of Education's government website. It's a .gov. So you can go there and actually sign up for the Department of Education's alerts on their website. So you get a message when it goes live that I will feature for you when it does. And with that, let's jump into some inflation relief stimulus checks. Inflation relief stimulus checks are incredible. And yeah, you obviously need it because we have more inflation in this week than the prior week. That inflation relief stimulus checks have a similar element across the board. Number one, they are from your states, not from the federal government. Number two, they're from most U.S. states. Number three, they're about $1,000. Huge. Four, you qualify. Same qualifications as all the other stimulus featured on this channel. And finally, in most cases, you'll have to have a federal tax return on file. You can go to irs.gov to electronically do it. So how do you find out about these incredible inflation relief stimulus checks, which are generally automatic or direct deposit? You go into the membership newsletter, go down to check D like donut, click the link, it opens up a brand new page. There it lists the state, then the amount of the check, and then below that, it'll list a link to go right into your state to track the details of the check. They have individual websites set up just for these checks. It's incredible. And with that, let's jump over to some lifetime stimulus checks. This became a reality this week, and congratulations. Everything we had ever hoped for, everything we had always advocated for, happened. SS200, yes. SS300, yes. Raise of your benefits, yes. Swapping COLA for inflation or locking inflation, yes. Absolutely. Let's go over what happened. The COLA raise was announced on Thursday, October 13th, and it's the highest raise of your benefits in 40 years. Now, the reason we call it on this channel lifetime stimulus is because once your benefits go up, they never go down. So they're going up 8.7% next year. Let me make this very clear of how this works. Viewers in the live chat last night were understanding this really well, but let me just say it again. Last year, your benefits went up 5.9% compared to the prior year. Now they're going to go up another 8.7%. I want to make this clear. It's 8.7% on top of the rise you had from the prior year. Yes, so you're getting a lift on top of the lift you got from last year. It gets better. The year after this, there'll be another raise, and the year after that, there'll be another raise, says Jay Powell. Why? Because he says inflation is going to be around next year and the year after that. So it will not be an 8.7% raise next year, but maybe 3% and maybe 4% because there will be inflation. Because Jay Powell says it will take 2 years to get rid of inflation. So you're going to get raise on top of raise on top of raise. It's incredible. Next. I've been detailing this on this channel for a few months, but I want to make it more clear right now because this is the announcement week of the raise of your benefits. It will not be eaten up anymore by Medicare Plan B benefits. Why? Congress passed a bill over the summer that reduced the price of that Medicare Plan B benefits. So you will never see your check ever again eaten up by Medicare Plan B benefits. There you go. Finally, how to run these numbers. If you like a calculator, you would take the current benefit check you have times 1.07 to get your new number. So for example, let's say you currently get $1,000 a month, you would be getting approximately $1,900 a month. That's how you do it. Now, if you just want to run in your head, which is very simple, just basically think of it as an extra month of check, take a little bit off of it. So yeah, the way you can do this is, an extra month will be an extra $1,000, take a little bit off of it, 900. There you go. That's easy way to run the numbers in your head. Congratulations across the board. Now, will there additionally be other stimuluses coming? Yes. So I'm going to be finding more FSEs for you all the time. That's what happens on this channel. I'll also be finding other elements that are coming in left and right because there's always surprises. And it's been a week in which there's been a lot of massive news. And next week, of course, we have the corporate earnings come in. And so expect these items to come in across the board. I had a really great question yesterday. And I want to answer that question right now because it is about LSCs. The viewer asked, am I getting $200 on top of this? No. So I'm doing exactly the calculation for you. Whatever your check is right now, take that check times 1.07. And if you just want to run in the top of your head, your benefits are going up about 9%, which is about an extra check, a little bit less per year, one extra check per year. And over 5 years, that's $5,000. It's just incredible if that's your monthly benefits are about $1,000 a month. Huge, great news. Congratulations across the board. All right, let's jump back into this market to understand where this market's going and what to expect for next week. Next week we start to get the corporate earnings for third quarter that are from the industries that are a little bit more fragile. We're also going to get some housing data as well. Those industries that reported this week were airlines. Now, airlines are really in the best shape of any industry right now. You and I know that their third quarter and probably their fourth quarter are going to have great numbers for travel because people were traveling and still are. And the banks are, generally doing relatively well. But the other industries that are on the cusp of starting to fall apart, they're about to report. So there we go. Who are we waiting for? We're waiting for the retail companies, the retailers. We're also going to report, we're going to look at some of those medical industry companies. They're going to start to report. Remember, as COVID started to settle down, the medical numbers are sort of settled down as well. We're also going to have some energy companies. Their numbers are going to be through the roof. So we're going to have a sort of balancing act. And we also have a lot of delayed data at issue, like the housing data. We do not see the impact on the housing numbers for people going to buy with the current 7% mortgage rate yet, because that really just kicked in less than 30 days ago. And they will not finish getting the key to the house until about 2 months after that started. So that's about a month from now. Translation, November is when you're going to see the really bad, horrible housing data. Not yet. So it's a very delayed situation. So let's go back to what those analysts said yesterday and what they said this morning. You know, do you feel like it's whiplash? I do. Because it was just, what was it, 2 weeks ago? We were just going after those Wall Street analysts saying buy. And we said, just why do they keep on telling people buy stocks? This is just so wrong. Now they're on the other side of the equation. I think they've been watching you and I. I think they now understood they need to zip it or flip it because they were on the wrong side of the equation. Now they're saying do not get excited with these rallies. Will there be more rallies where things go up? Absolutely. Are they going to be justified? Not at all. Are they going to happen? Sure. Should you be part of these rallies, whether it's cryptocurrency, stocks, or bonds? Let me tell you how to analyze the situation. If you have the time in your day to analyze the trading opportunities of what something will move in a 1 to 2 or 3 day horizon, then certainly that may be something that interests you. But this is absolutely not a market to be buying something to hold and think it's going to be higher valuation. I did that a lot on the crypto shows back when. Certainly, this is certainly a time I could talk about crypto, saying buy and sell within 24 hours, or buy and sell in 34 hours, or 1.5 days. But nowhere in this universe will I tell anyone to buy and hold, because nothing is holdable in this market. Now, do analysts agree finally? Sorta. Not entirely just yet. The data that came in today, I love it, because it basically says a lot of people have cash on hand. Anyone that's smart has done exactly what you and I have done, which is remove all your debt earlier this year if you haven't done it right now, or switch that debt to fixable rate debt, because J-Powell's going to have interest rate spikes the whole rest of this year, next year, and the year after. Humongous. Number 2, get as much stimulus, raise your stimulus. Number 3, remove that ridiculous spending you don't need. So don't be spending on trips and vacations. And yeah, people are still doing that. Not you, but other people. And that's why the airlines are straight up. They are going to really get punched because guess what? We had that data earlier this week where record numbers of young, middle-aged, and elderly people have run up spending like we've never seen. And they say that they're 6 months behind on their bills. And they say they don't have the cash on hand to pay for it. This is not going to end good for them, because this situation is going to get more brunt. The inflation is going to be more an issue. Let me tell you the horizon of where we are. Is inflation going to go down? No. As Lester George? No, Esther George, the Cleveland Fed governor yesterday said, or 2 days ago said, we have gotten inflation nowhere. We have not reduced inflation yet. So inflation is going to be still with us, potentially higher than even the month before. Then interest rates going higher, because Jay Powell's going to be doing it, and price of goods going higher, and gasoline going higher. Is anything improving in this landscape? The plants. Your hairstyle, maybe. I don't know. Is anything improving? No, nothing's particularly improving. And that is why you have to sort of really understand. Good news or bad news for the economy? No, there's actually no good economic news in here, except certain parts and segments of the economy like travel and leisure doing really, really well. We understand that. And that is why I need you to understand where are the pockets that are good and why they're not pervasive across all markets, because you don't want to buy into that exuberance at all. You want to understand where it is and be grounded and prepare yourself accordingly. And how do you do that? You tune into Evenings LA tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Big show tonight from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Then we continue at 6 o'clock at Countdown, 7 o'clock at Stream Stimulus, 8 o'clock at Extra, 9 o'clock at Sunset. Please join me all weekend long because we have more new shows this weekend and potentially more shorts. All very exciting. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, the breaking news is just getting started today. Stay informed, stay focused, always stay here, always get every sum of money you can, and pounce for all this incredible sums of money while it's here and before it's gone. Stay informed, stay focused, become a member, and stay with LA for more.